see you all. Today we're talking about social media, well, digital marketing, but in particular, we're looking at social media in 2023. And we have so much to cover, so I'm going to get stuck straight in. And before I do, though, I'd love you guys to go into the chat and say who you are, what you do, and in your business, how you help people. So what you're all about. And also remember to add your social media channels and your website, because you never know who you might meet in here and who you might be able to connect with and collaborate with. We'll talk a little bit more about collaborating soon. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and let me know, give me a little thumbs up if you could see the window that says welcome to the Flourish workshop series, presented by Hello Media and Positive Passionate Business Women. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later also, but very nice to have you all here. Thanks for joining me. This is our first workshop of 2023. Actually, that's not true. We did a workshop last week also, but that was for our Action Takers group coaching. So this is our first one where we've invited anyone that would like to come along and learn what's going on in social media in 2023. So just to tell you all a little bit about what's happening behind the scenes. So last year we had our Let's Get Visible workshop series, and we covered different topics every month. This year it's our Flourish workshop series, and each month again will be a different topic, and there'll be learnings in there. There'll be giveaways and prizes, which is also what we have going on there today. So as there are a lot of new faces in here today, make sure that you remember your introduction in the chat. Let us know who you are, what you do, and how you help people, and of course how people can connect with you. So important. And it looks like, who was the first brave one? Petra. Starting a new company, Discover and Draw. We will share our knowledge of plant identification and drawing to foster a greater interest in and appreciation of nature and our local environment. To learn more, follow us on our socials. Beautifully done, Petra. That's fabulous, and I definitely look forward to discovering more about you. So if you put in all those socials the way, thanks Sue's put it in there as well, then it makes it really easy for us to follow you, and then you can follow us back and we can connect, and that's all a fabulous thing. Soz caps to Christopher, that's cute. I do that sometimes myself. All right, awesome. Thanks for being here. Let's get stuck straight in. If you've got questions, just put them in the chat and I will answer them as we go along if I'm able to. And if you could leave yourself muted, that would be great. And then we'll have a Q&A time at the end where you can unmute yourself and ask questions. So let's get into it. So we're looking today at how to get the most out of social media in 2023, because I'm sure you all know that things in social media world change all the time. It's the one industry where there's one thing we can be sure of, is that the changes are endless, absolutely endless. So this is your chance to get stuck in and see what it's all about. As I mentioned earlier, this workshop series is presented by Hello Media and by Positive Passionate Business Women, and each month will be a different topic. So if you haven't met me before, I'm Kylie Mowbray-Allen, and my company is Hello Media. And on the side, I have Positive Passionate Business Women, because I'm passionate about women connecting with women and women supporting and helping each other to grow. So I build brands, I help business owners, creators, entrepreneurs, and brands to stand out and get visible online so they can attract their ideal customers instead of chasing them. So I'm a business coach specializing in digital marketing, content, and branding, and I love helping you to stand out, grow your business, and soar. And I work with clients through one-on-one coaching, group coaching programs, masterclasses, workshops, and all kinds of things. And I have an amazing, fabulous team supporting me behind the scenes. So I invite you all to join our Hello Media Facebook group. In there, you can ask questions, engage with people, and learn the latest in digital marketing. We're regularly jumping in and giving updates and top tips and little videos on how to do things. So, yeah, make sure that you jump in there and join if you haven't already. And if you're a woman in business, you might also like to join our Positive Passionate Businesswomen's group. So here's just a few things showing you what I'm all about and what I do. So I have a Bite-Sized Business live podcast with my digital BFF, Jenny Walk. She's from Elephant in the Room Consulting. Every Friday, we go live. We meet on Zoom. We go live onto our various Facebook pages, and we also go live onto YouTube. From that, and this is a really important one for you guys to think about if this is something that you could do, because let's be honest, chatting with someone for 30 minutes and getting a lot of content out of that is a lot easier than writing content from scratch. So this is how Jenny and I do it. We do a 30 minutes as a live video podcast. As I mentioned, it goes live onto Facebook, into our Facebook groups, and onto YouTube. We then Otter, so that's a really amazing transcription platform that's free to use. So we then transcribe that, turn that into a blog. From there, we get lots of different posts that we can use throughout a month or more. We can, that's obviously driving traffic to our website with the blog. We then have a video intro that we put on the front and the back of it, load it back up onto YouTube, and then load it up through Anchor, which is the podcast platform we use. And that then sends it out to Spotify and Apple and all the different places where you might listen to a podcast. So there you go, 30 minutes of a chat that we haven't not scripted. We just have a topic each week for us to cover. It then becomes so much content. And that's a prime example of how we're doing a collaboration. So have a think about who you might want to collaborate with. Who could you do that sort of a thing with? It might just be the way we do with once a week, or you might prefer to do it once a month. But it's a really great way to get a lot of great content and get yourself visible out there and attract the ideal customers to you. So that's the first thing you might want to think about. The next one is that I'm a member of the Social Media Marketing Society. I also attend the Social Media Marketing World in the States each year. Not the last two, I had to do it online, but this year I'm back there again in San Diego, which just gives me the opportunity to really keep current with everything that's going on. And there are just some amazing speakers, amazing collaborations to be done. One of the things that I did last time I was there, which was, was it 2020? And very, very beginning of COVID that was. And we all met up, women that run business women's networking groups. It was amazing. There was about 9 of us from all different parts of the world connected there. Then we started a Facebook group, and then we support each other and how we can make our groups better. So yeah, there's lots and lots of ways that you can find to collaborate with people and help grow your business. So I'm also a speaker, coach, mentor, writer, designer, presenter, content creator, and branding specialist. And so I'd already mentioned there about the Positive Passionate Businesswoman and the Facebook group for that, if you want to join that as well. So that's me in a nutshell. And there's you can tell through this presentation, but even just on this page, that one of my favorite things is Bitmoji. So all my team, when they're onboarded into Hello Media, one of the first things that they're asked to do is to set up their Bitmoji and dress them. And then we use Bitmojis in all kinds of ways. So here is the Hello Media team, and there we all are having a little wave. So that's pretty fun. Now, before we get stuck into the content, I want to share that we have a few prizes throughout the session today. The first one is that you could go in the draw to win a free one-on-one with me. It can be any topic that you like. It can literally be, let's take a look at your website and overhaul it. Let's look at your SEO. Let's look at your branding. You might want to work on overhauling your branding or overhauling your social. It can be an audit, or you can actually get some training in something, but it is an hour one-on-one with me. So if you jump into the chat and say, yes, please, or drop your favorite emoji, then we'll put you in this. This here is our little cool platform that we use called Wheel of Names. So we'll pop your name in there and then we'll spin it at the end. So take a little look at that and put your details down if you want to be in. Okay, so social media gives you the opportunity to connect with people around the world in real time. So use this power wisely. Social media completely opened up the world to business owners and just gave us so many more opportunities for connecting with people, particularly if you have an international audience. What an amazing way to be able to really expand your reach. So today, what we're going to look at is why you need to be using social media for your business. Social media in 2023 specifically, 5 steps to social media success, and 4 social media trends in 2023. And there's some big changes going on out there, which I'm excited to share with you. So the first one is why you need to be using social media for your business. And I'd like to start by asking, what platforms are you currently using? So tell me, are you on one platform only, and is that just Facebook, for example? Or are you going Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube? Like, where are you at? What are you using? And tell me, what's your favorite? Are you overwhelmed by all the platforms that you're using? Do you wish that you could really just choose one and stick with one? Or what's happening? What have we got in the chat here? So we've got Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Facebook and a little bit on Insta, but Facebook's my fave. Instagram, Facebook, mainly through. I'm moving more into YouTube this year. Me too, Mary. Facebook and Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Oh, I forgot to even mention LinkedIn, didn't I? Who's using LinkedIn most? Wendy says Instagram's her favorite. Teresa said mostly LinkedIn. Very good. So prefer Facebook. Facebook is LinkedIn. Can't stand Facebook, but use it for planning posts. Insta, Facebook. Interesting, isn't it, that Facebook and Instagram keep popping up there, and yet there's not a week that goes by that someone doesn't say to me, Facebook's dead, Facebook's dying, no one's on Facebook anymore. I'm like, poof. Actually, it is still growing every single day. Me too, Karen. Should use LinkedIn a little more than I do, for sure. I like seeing that Kelsey's got the Google My Business, which has now been renamed to Google Business Profile. For those of you that don't know, you should be using that as a social platform also. You only need to be posting once a week because the post lasts for 7 days, but it's a really, really powerful way for you to be getting more reach with your SEO and driving traffic to your business is by posting social posts onto a Google Business Profile. And for those of you that didn't even know it as Google My Business, before that it was Google Business, and before that it was Google Plus. For some reason, they just keep changing that name. I really don't know why. But right now, it's Google Business Profile, so GBP, and you need to be posting on it. So you can ask about that in the chat if you want to, or in the Q&A a little bit later on. So social media for your business. There are now 4.2 billion active social media users. That's almost twice as many as there were just 5 years ago. Those users spend an average of 2 hours and 25 minutes on social channels every single day. And I'd like to know how many times a day do you think that you use social media, whether that's time on Facebook, time on Instagram, and maybe just on one each day for social. But do you think between business and between your personal use, would you be only half an hour a day? Would you be 5 minutes a day? Would you be all day? Let me know what it is that you're using it for. And I'm just going to ask one of my team to send me a little private message and tell me the latest stat on what is the number of times that people are touching their phones. So I want to know, guys, tell me in the chat, how many times a day do you think you touch your phone? Petra says for business about 20 minutes, personal 5 minutes. Interesting. And Corinne says 5 minutes each day, unless I'm posting for me. Yeah, so I think at least you're being honest there. The weekly report on my phone tells me it's way too long. And Karen's been a bit more honest every day, maybe an hour or so. Yeah, my phone says 60 minutes. There you go. I think to myself, I'm not on it that much, 5 minutes, because all my stuff is scheduled and all that. But realistically, that is not the case at all. So what do you think, guys? How many times a day, though, do you actually touch your phone? Because that is an absolutely outstanding, I don't mean outstanding in a fabulous way, outstanding in a shocking kind of a way. So Janine says 350 times a day. 500 is Corin. So think about this. Every time you swipe, every time you fill out a sticker on your stories, let me know what you think. Corin says the Wordle's over breakfast. Yes. So imagine how many times that is touching your phone. There would be a lot, I'm sure. I agree with Corin. I think it's up there, maybe more. Yes, it is more. It is definitely more. Christine says For business Facebook, I'm not consistent, but when I do, probably an hour twice a week. Wow. Interesting. So Mickey, 12 hours a day. I love it. That's so great. So the number of times you touch your phone, I'm just seeing if my team can give me an update, because we had a number last year and it was always surprising. There we go. Honey's got the absolute latest. So yay to the Bitmoji. I love that, Wendy. Okay, so the highest one that you guys have guessed for how many times you touch your phone is 500. But the actual correct number right now, on average, for an average user, this is not for a heavy user, this is for an average user, is 2,600 times a day. How's that? A little bit shocking. So did that surprise you? Did that not? I think probably it surprised most of you. It certainly surprises me. So let's take a little look at a few more stats. So 71% of small to mid-sized businesses use social media to market themselves. What's more, social media isn't just for big businesses anymore. 71% of those small to mid-sized businesses are using it. And they're using it to post around 52% post once a day. So if you want to compete, you need to get online and you need to get visible. Janine says, shocking, it's scary. Yes, indeed it is. So here are 5 reasons that you need to be using social media for your business. Number 1, increasing brand awareness, building relationships, reaching more people, knowing your competitors, and knowing more customers. So we're going to deep dive a little bit into that. So all about increasing your brand awareness. So obviously, it's going to help you keep up with all the latest trends and make a strategy based on those trends. And we need to be posting consistently. Now, that doesn't mean you have to post 5 times, 7 times a week. Or 7 days a week. What that means is if you only want to post once a week, that's fine. Just make sure that you do that every single Monday or every single Wednesday, whatever it is, so that people know what to expect. So people like a little bit of surety. So make sure that you choose a time and then that's when you post every time. So a really well executed social media strategy really will help lead to increased visibility for your business. So you want to be creating interesting and relevant content. I like to talk about it as edutaining. So some entertaining and some educating. And when you're doing that, then people will then share it with their followers. That then increases your reach and exposure. So, of course, the more your brand is showing up online, the more chances you have of people becoming familiar with it and eventually making a purchase. So tell me the platforms. You mentioned them in the chat before, what you were using, but is there a platform that you think you should be giving it a go with this year? So there's obviously a lot more platforms than what I've just listed here, but it's really important to choose wisely. So for example, a lot of people come to me and say, oh, this is the year I've got to be on TikTok. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because TikTok's massive now. And I'm like, but does that mean that that's where your people are? So it's all about, where are your people? Where is your ideal audience? If they're there, then sure. If it feels the right platform for you, jump on it. I use Snapchat a lot, but not at all for my business. I just use it because I really like silly filters. And then I use those silly filters on my Instagram stories and stuff. So Snapchat for me, I don't even post on it. I certainly don't post as a Snapchat story or anything, but it's there for me just to use as a tool. So have a think about what are the platform. Watch one platform that you might want to try out this year. And maybe there's a platform that you're already on that you could actually wind back a little bit and just do as a, like for example, with LinkedIn, we just do a couple of posts a week that are automated. And because I don't actually really enjoy LinkedIn. Last year, I set a goal that I was going to spend some time on it every week, actually engaging, and I didn't do enough of that. But I tried, but I didn't find the love for it. So for me, I really decided to up my game on YouTube. I've really enjoyed it. And so this year, we're really taking it to a whole new level. Same as Julia there. It's YouTube for me. Yes. Petra says, need to use YouTube more and put on teasers for online courses. Great. So one thing you should all think about in terms of YouTube is stop thinking of it as an alternative to Facebook or Instagram or whatever, because yes, it's officially a social media platform, but it's also a search engine. So think of it like Google. So when you go onto Google, you're actually looking for something. You're typing in that you're looking for a specific thing that you want to watch a video about or a training about or something. That's how people use YouTube. So make sure that you're really optimizing the way when you're posting on YouTube that you're doing really good keywords that people are searching for. And if you're already making reels for Instagram and Facebook, and of course TikTok, they're not called a reel, but then why aren't you putting them on YouTube as your shorts? You may as well give that a go, because you would be quite surprised. We've got a client that started in September posting a few shorts up there, and that he was already doing on Instagram for his reels. And it's phenomenal, the traffic that's going to his website. Yeah, you're right, Wendy. Twitter is not on this little list. No, it's not that Elon killed it. In fact, there's a certain sector where Twitter is absolutely powering ahead for them since the changes have been going on. So, yeah, I should have had that in there, but actually there's loads more that could have popped into this spot as well. So what we want to think about are the main platforms that we want to use and really hone in on those. So the second thing we want to talk about then is collaborating. So I made this little video. I'm hoping that the audio will work. And I'll play it through.
Shout out to a very special business.
That is just an example of a silly Snapchat filter. So I'm going to press pause for a moment. So what I've done with this, I just did a little video of it this morning so I could show you, because it literally took me less than a minute to do this. So what I did was open up my Snapchat, did a silly little filter, and did a silly, my words, doing a shout out to a business. Then what I did was I jumped onto Instagram, I put this tiny little video on it, and I went into stickers and chose the support small business. Then I put it in, so I used elephant in the room. So I'm going to play it again so that you can actually see exactly what I've done.
A shout out to a very special business. A little shout out to a very special business. A little shout out.
So you can see I just did a search. I pulled up
a little shout out
the support small business. I did a little love lips, and let's just stop that talking. So you can see there that literally took less than, well, by the time I'd done the Snapchat thing, which was probably 20 seconds, by the time I did this, it was maybe another 20 seconds. So for under a minute, I was able to do a shout out on my stories for another business. And that is a beautiful way to collaborate. What she could do then, and then she sees that in her notifications that she's had a shout out, then she can then share that into her stories as well. So then that gives me a wider reach too. So absolutely think about who might you like to do a little shout out for, because it's a beautiful way to collaborate with very, very minimal effort. So at least once a week on Hello Media and for Positive Passionate Businesswomen, we're doing a little shout out like this. Sometimes we go all out and we'll do like a picture from their thing and share this and share that, but sometimes I'll just do it in this way. So there's so many different ways that you can do it. And it's really important to put yourself out there and, collaborate. So you can mention influencers, you can mention partners, business friends, customers, clients on your posts. You need to remember to be social on social media. And it's about building a community. So don't be stingy with your likes, with your comments, and with your shares, because you want to really develop a culture of engagement around your business. So engaging on your profiles and all people that you're following in your news feed, when you're engaging with them, people see you're around. And then if they like what you've written, then they'll actually go and find your account and boom, you've just got yourself a new follower. So Janine, see why I love Snapchat filters, because those are cool glasses on there. So yeah, definitely take a little look at how can you collaborate. So I gave you the example before of Jenny and I doing that live video podcast every week. So that's a big example of it. This one here is a tiny example, literally in under a minute, to do a little shout out for someone. So I'd love it if you guys thought about today. This is challenge number 1 of the day, is who can you do a shout out for today in your stories using that great little sticker saying support a small business. It's definitely worth a try. Okay, the third one we're going to take a look at is build a community. So once you've chosen the right platform that you want to be on, Then you want to think about what can you do in that platform. So if it's Instagram, you could set up a little direct message group in there and you can support each other with an engagement pod or something like that. You could, on Facebook, start a Facebook group. I have a number of different Facebook groups for various things. I've got one that is got thousands and thousands and thousands of people in it, that I started actually just when Facebook groups began. So back in towards the end of 2007. And my husband had just had an accident, became a quadriplegic, and I found that it was great to talk to my friends and family and things, but at the end of the day, I was really living a whole new world, and I felt I needed different types of support. And I wanted to know what other people were doing out there, other wives of that were living in this situation, as well as the people themselves that were injured. So I started a Facebook group, and very quickly it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And now I have at least 3 admins in different parts of the world so that they can admin it at different times of the day, which is amazing because there's stuff going on in that group sometimes that needs to be admined really heavily. And it's been incredibly beneficial as a group for sharing and learning and stuff. So one of the cool things is that we can now really hone in on our rules in the group so you can make it very clear what people can and can't do. That's an example on a personal side. Another personal one, not one that I run, but one that I'm in, is I'm a Thermomix user, and so I like to be in Thermomix groups. So, and of course, if you're a Thermomix seller, it's a great opportunity to share your wisdom in there and make people go, need to know a little bit more about that person. So that's all personal things. What about business things? So for your business, could you have a Facebook group? So we've got these fantastic clients, Mark and Richard, who have a business called Flower Thinking, and they are floral designers. So not florists, but actually things for like competitions and stuff like that. Just honestly, the most extraordinary work I've ever seen. So what they did towards the end of last year, I think it was literally in December, we helped them set up a Facebook group. We sent out an email to their database and said, would you like to be in this group? Of course, they then put it on their socials and all of that. But one of the rules to join the group is that you must give your email address. Why is that? Oh, I've just zipped along many pages by mistake. One of the reasons for that is because we really want to be working on building our database. We don't want to have all our eggs in one basket just on social media. So of course, if Facebook just fell over tomorrow and it was gone, what would you do if you'd spent all your time building that community there? So we need to remember to be building communities elsewhere as well. So what they've done is they built this community in this Facebook group. And in only 2 months of having this group, it is just extraordinary how they've been able to connect. And people are sharing their floral designs in there. Every Monday, they've got a question going out to the group, which really helps people engaging. It's really pretty extraordinary how that's really working really well for them. So I would love you to think, this would be challenge number 2. Could you start a Facebook group? And if you felt overwhelmed that it might be too much work, then why don't you think about who you could collaborate with to do a Facebook group? So that's a really good one as well. And that way, you don't, yes, so Karen, what you say that as they're entering the group, you say, because you're going to send them your a great free ebook, or you're going to be able to put them in the on your email list so that they're the first to hear about your awesome offers. So yeah, definitely you need to let them know what it is you want with that email address. But yeah, if you can collaborate and build that community, that's a super good way. So it's a great way to show your expertise in who you are and what you do as well, and good way to get really visible. Number 2, that is build relationships. So social media isn't just about posting pretty pictures and witty captions. It's also about building relationships with your customers. So there are people that are going to buy your products or book your services over and over and over. And then there are going to be people that just look at what you're doing. You want to have lots of those people that are looking at what you're doing. That's your top of funnel people. They may never buy from you. They may never book your service, but what they might do, because they enjoy what you're putting out there at your top of funnel stuff, so all your posts and things, they will then recommend you to other people. They will tell other people about what you do. So even if they're never going to be your customer, they definitely could be a really good brand advocate for you. So make sure that whatever connections are going on out there, that you really nurture them and you really cherish them. So how can you show your customers that you really care about them if they're not buying from you, for example? So you might want to give them a shout out, for example. You might want to do, particularly in a Facebook group, you can say, hey, this is the person that's commented the most this week. Whoa, thank you so much. We really value being in here, for example. There's lots of different ways of doing it. But the thing to remember is that you need the people that are going to be engaging on your posts. You need people to like, yes, but you really need them to comment. You need them to share, and you need them to save. Because when you put a post out there on social, whatever platform it is, if nobody comments and nobody engages with it at all, then that social platform, let's use Facebook as an example, will show that post to less and less people till eventually it just kind of dies. But if you put a post out there and it immediately gets a little bit of engagement, then Facebook would show it to a few more people and a few more people and a few more people. So you really, really want to focus on what kind of content that can I do that is going to get me some really good engagement on it. So any kind of call to action is a great idea. So a call to action in your caption, like telling them to do something, like, for example, leave an emoji in the comments, and if it's, if you like it or you don't, if you sell dresses and you go, here's the red, here's the blue, which one do you like, tell me an emoji only or something, then it's easy for people to comment because you're telling them what it is you want them to do. You're not asking them to write an essay as a response. It's just like, hey, drop your favorite emoji or something. So that's a great way to get engaging with people. But then remember, because you're building relationships, you absolutely want to make sure that you are then responding to them. There's nothing worse when you see a brand doing great stuff on socials. They've got a lot of comments coming in on their posts, and then they never reply to anyone. It's like, that's just kind of not very good manners, right? So make sure that you really are working on being on social media and really building those relationships. Number 3 is reaching more people. And this is tricky. We all know that. So social media platforms provide access to a vast pool of consumers looking for products and services exactly like the ones that you're offering on your website. So you need to be getting visible. So how can you be doing it? You need to be thinking about the fact that social media is free, but you need to invest time into it, making amazing content that makes people stop scrolling. So when we think about the free, that also means obviously it's got to be paid for somehow. So it's being paid for by ads, etc. I do see a fair few posts out there, people complaining about, oh, I see so many ads in my feed. I've been told if I copy and paste this message on Facebook, then I'm not going to see any more ads. I'm like, oh, that's a kooky thing, isn't it? And it just goes viral, those kinds of posts. It's like, actually, that's not true. You're going to see ads no matter what. But what you can do is teach the algorithm the kind of ads you'd prefer to see. So what you want to do is when you see an ad that you really don't like, click the 3 dots on the top right, and you can say, I don't want to see this ad anymore. And so it's teaching the algorithm the kind of things that you don't want to see, which will then show you more of the things that you do want to see. So that's a way to really personalize your feed a little bit more. But making sure that you're doing the kind of content that is absolutely going to make people stop the scroll and read your caption. And then, of course, take action. We want them to do something once they have seen your post. So how can we do that? We can do giveaways. We can be posting consistently. That's really important. We can be responding to comments. We can be relevant, and we can be fun if fun is right for our business. So posting consistently doesn't need to be that you're doing that a gazillion times a day. It just needs to be that when your audience is most online, aim for posting around 15 minutes before that. You don't want to post right on. So let's say that your Instagram analytics said 10 a.m. is the biggest time for us, for your account. That means go on 15 minutes beforehand, start doing some engaging in your news feed. Then what you would do is your post would go up, and that could have been that you'd scheduled it beforehand or whatever. And then you'll find that those people that you've been engaging with are actually going to start to see your content coming through in their news feed. And then you can get this whole lovely thing going on. So you might only need to be there for literally 15 minutes, but minimum 15 minutes a day that you need to be on there engaging. Now, what happens if your best time is 9 p.m. and you do not want to be there? Then that's fine. Don't be there, but make sure that you're scheduling your posts and aim for around 15 minutes before the people are on there for your highest number. For me personally, I find a 6 a.m. is good, even though it says that I have a different time for my best engagement time. I definitely know that 6 a.m. for me is good because I'm better at engaging at that time. That's when I spend most of my time on socials, before I get into my day, before I start my work stuff. So that's a good time for me to have stuff scheduled for. But each person is different. You've got to work out what is really best for you. Also, I mentioned already to respond to every single social media comment. The more you engage, the more you respond to comments, the more the algorithm will recommend your content to other people. So you absolutely want to jump on that bandwagon, aside from the fact that it's really nice to be social on social. So that's obviously a main reason too. Now, the next one is to be relevant. So make sure that you're posting relevant content across your channels. So you need to make sure that who is your audience? So if your audience is in their 70s and 60s or whatever, you don't want to be posting the same kind of content that you would be to the 20-year-olds. So make sure you really know who that audience is and what it is that you're putting out there. And then the last one is about creating fun and engaging content that your potential customers can really relate to or can have a chuckle over. And you notice that fun content is often the ones that get shared, like cute little memes and stuff like that. The next one, number 4, is know your competitors. Learn from your competitors, but remember not to copy them. So yes, we know we all have competitors online. They're there. We can get really overwhelmed by watching every single thing they do and making sure we're trying to do the same. That's 100% what we should not be doing. We need to look at what they're doing. We need to analyze it and think, do I like that? If I do, how could I do that works for my business in a completely different way? Do I not like that? I definitely don't want to be doing any of that. So it's a good way to learn what's good and what's not good. Have a little look at their engagement. So what kind of posts are they putting out there and that they're getting really good engagement on? And what kind of posts are they doing and they're getting nothing? So you want to think about, why aren't they getting any engagement on those posts? Is it their captions? Is it their videos? Is it their graphics? What is it that's not making people engage with them? So that's a really important one. So you really want to put together a bit of a competitive analysis. It really helps you learn what's working for them, what's working for you, what's not working. And then don't be afraid to look outside of your main competitors and get some inspiration from what others are doing in different industries. Or maybe you're a florist here, and you could go and have a look at what's going on overseas with florists on socials. What are they doing that's really working for them and not working for them? So knowing your competitors is really important. And there is a little feature on Facebook where you can put I think it's 5 competitors that you can put in there, and then you can get some little insights into what's going on in their socials, which is quite fascinating. So take a little look in that. In our Hello Media Facebook group, we're going to be doing a bit of a thing about that this week. So make sure you're in that group and you'll learn how you can find out to see what your competitors are doing. And then number 5 is understanding your customers better. How much do you really know about your customers? Now, you can be thinking that you can look at the demographics, you can look at your insights, find out what kind of age group are they in, where are they coming from around the world, what device are they using, are they on their phone, are they on their computer, etc. There's lots of kind of really good kind of valuable data that you can take a little look at. So how can you find out more about them? Even on top of that, though, you can talk to your customers inside your group. You can post polls and ask them questions. And you can post questions that are things like, we do some really basic ones just to get to know our people. Like, for example, are you team coffee or team tea? And people love to have a little opinion about that, like, only black coffee or neither, only water for me or whatever. And you can just get chatting with people in there. Or it can be a post like, how many times a day do you post on Facebook or something? So it really can be really specific to your business or really generic about getting to know people. But remember, it's just so important that you are engaging with people. So I said to you a little bit earlier about our clients, Mark and Richard, and the business called Flower Thinking. So this group that they've had going now, it's less than a couple of months, but check this out. So they've got, here's Flower Thinking has posted in the Flower Thinkers group, and it's question of the week. Other than regular flower tools, what is a must-have in your toolbox? And it's been seen by 83 people. There's, I think, around 100 people in their group. But how extraordinary that almost all those people have seen the post, and there's 26 comments from it. Now, you would know yourself, if you've got 10,000 people or followers on your page, how many of those people are actually going to see your content? The sad thing is it is less than 3%. So the fact that this was seen by like 83% in the group is absolutely extraordinary. And I've said it many, many times before, over many, many years, I would rather have 100 engaged followers of people that really wanted to be there than 10,000 that are just really making up numbers. That's just playing a vanity game, and we don't need any part of that. Particularly this year, we want to think about quantity over quality. Let's look at this middle one. So this one is a question of the week. What flowers or plant materials do you gravitate towards? The ones that might be seen repeatedly in a gallery of your floral designs. 25 comments and seen by 84. And then this one here is somebody else in the group shared a post with their floral designs, which is a really beautiful thing to do, and seen by 72. Another cool thing about a Facebook group is that when you post, people will get that as a notification will get that as a notification. And that is awesome, because when you post on your business page, they don't get a notification about that. So definitely think hard about, how can I start a group and really get to know my customers better and my audience? So here's a little example of one of ours. This is a hashtag just for fun in the Hello Media group. And this one was, if you could only eat one type of fruit for the rest of your life, what would you choose? And boom, that had a 99 post reach and 14 comments. Well, considering that was Boxing Day that we posted that, that's pretty fantastic as a good result. So it's just a good way to just get chatting with people. This one over here, though, so that one's a question. This one over here is a poll. So this one is, if you want to up your social media game in 2023, have you registered for our Flourish workshop yet? 91% said, yes, I'm excited. 8% not yet. 1% went, ooh, I'll register now. And that reached 156 people, 12 votes, 9 comments. And as I said before, if I'd put that on my Facebook page, really, who was going to see it unless I'm doing it as an ad? Yes, there'll be some people seeing it if I've done a really good call to action and I'm really trying to get some good engagement on it, but it's going to be hard. Whereas doing a poll or doing a question is going to be super simple. Corinne, the good thing is when you go to make a post inside your group, it will literally say to you right there, do you want to do a poll? And boom. And what I love too is that other people can add their own poll options in there. So I look forward to you trying that out, Corinne. In fact, for all of you with a Facebook group, I definitely want to say, give it a go doing a poll in your group this week and see how it goes. I know Corinne's group because it's fabulous and I'm in there myself. So I would like to suggest, for example, that if you're going to do, I know you've been doing some posts lately about plant-based eating. So how about then that you were to do a poll that says, what is the hardest about having a more of a plant-based diet? You could say, and in fact, I know that you've asked these questions before, but when you turn it into a poll and you can say, is it that it is too hard to be organized and have all the food? Is it that you want to buy takeout or whatever it is? But yeah, just having it in a poll makes it so much easier for people to answer. And also, obviously, to add their own poll option, which is cool. Okay, we're ready for part number 2. So we're now going to look at what's actually going on for 2023 in social media that's different. Oh, cool. Thank you, honey. She's just shared something in there to make it easier to be able to find out all about it. Thanks, honey. So I'm going to ask you a little question. Is this true or false? Social media marketing in 2023 is complicated. Is it a yes or no? Is it a true or is it a false? So Mari Smith, who is the social media queen, particularly the Facebook queen, she even says Today in 2023, social media marketing is very complicated. So, hello, Kristen. So Corin says not complex, just time consuming. Imagine though, if you were starting out in a new business today and you hadn't used social media for your business, and you then had to go, I've got to get my head around this. I think it's really, really complicated. When you look, even the fact that they still have Creator Studio, and yet it's the one that's going away, and Business Suite is where they're focusing. But why do they even have both? Because they both do the same thing. There's marginally different things that they offer, but at the end of the day, they're still very, very similar. So even that in itself, if you were just starting out and wanting to start scheduling, that would be confusing. Also, how do you know that Creator Studio is going away if nobody's told you? Because really, you've got to do a whole lot of reading about what's going on, about what's new, what's changing, et cetera, et cetera. So it is a lot. Thank goodness for the Hello Media Facebook group, where we are updating you regularly with what's going on. But yeah, it is definitely complicated for me. And I'm in this industry every single day. So I can't even imagine for new people to be starting out. It is a lot going on. So let's uncomplify it a little bit. So what we need more, no worries, Janine. What we need now more than ever is a really huge need for human connection and community. People want to feel that they are important, that they matter, that you and that your business values them. So Mari says that you have to understand that building a community takes time. It takes money, it takes resources, and it takes energy. So don't get disappointed right away if your community is not showing you results instantly. So there's a few things that are going on. For example, here's a little video showing you that Instagram is turning all sorts of videos into reels. So now even a post that you would have done that was like this one, an old one that was just a square, because it was a video, it has now gone into my reels section. And so that therefore, if it starts to get new comments on it, it can go into the reels feed. Now, all of the things that have had a really, really low view rate, chances are it's because they were never a reel in the first place. But now Instagram has turned all of those videos into a reel, which I think is pretty odd. It's a little bit frustrating because they're the wrong size and all that kind of stuff. But this one here is a really super silly one of a GIF that I had done, probably like a couple of years ago on my anniversary with my husband. And yet there it is now suddenly as a reel, which is, an interesting thing. So it's because Facebook and Instagram are trying to catch up with TikTok. So they're now recommending the content from the accounts that you don't follow, which is really, really interesting in terms of opportunities to be found. So it's not happening 100% for all accounts just yet, but Instagram is definitely doing this where they turn all videos into reels. So the more that you interact with a particular type of content on social, the more that you'll see that type of content. So if you're watching more videos, you're going to be seeing more videos. So if you've got some really old videos that were really, really good and got some good engagement, they will now be a reel. So why don't you give them a bit more of a zhuzh and bring them back? Why don't you share them into your stories or tag someone in the comments? And then they then potentially can go into the reels feed, where just the possibilities in that reels feed is just extraordinary. Janine, nearly how he did. And so I want you to think about, if you're not making reels now, I'm going to press pause on this. If you're not making reels now, can you start doing it? Because for the first time ever, you get a chance to be found by people that never knew you before. So I'll tell you what happens is that you're looking at your news feed, you see a reel, and you might click on it to watch it in the full screen. That then takes you to a whole new place that you probably didn't even know you were going to, but you suddenly have gone to the Reels feed. And as you scroll down, you see all the things in the Reels feed from people you do not follow. And you want your account to have that opportunity. So make sure that you are posting some Reels. The next one is what's happening with Facebook. So they're restructuring their main feed around video content such as Reels and Stories. So this one to me is a really interesting one. I was just showing someone how to do this the other day on my phone. And anyway, I was going to delete them and then I didn't because they actually got some really good views. So all this is a photo. All this is a photo. And it suggested to me that if I put music to it, well, it just gave me that opportunity. So it's like, hey, why not? So I did. And then boom, all of a sudden, 68 views. This one here is, I can't even see what it was. But anyway, 82 views. So that's crazy. You just don't normally get that kind of instant stuff where people are seeing that stuff much quicker, unless you, of course, were turning it into an ad. The reason, Wendy, is that I was literally just posting one photo. That's all it is, one photo. So I didn't need it to be a reel. I just wanted to put a photo up. And then it's saying, put some music with it, which of course we couldn't do before, but now we can. And then boom, all of a sudden it's going into a whole new area as well. So yes, you'd probably really want to make a reel, but sometimes you just want to put a photo up. Always remember too, this really, really important bit is to make sure that you do this. So tag the location, because a lot of people are searching by location. So make sure that that's another way that you can be found. So let's look at the next thing, which is talking about the algorithm, which is changing so much. So the more that you interact with a particular type of content on social media, the more you'll see that type of content. So if you're watching more videos, you'll see more videos. It's really important to be aware of that. If you're more of a stories watcher, and I love it if you would tell me in the chat, what do you do when you first open up, say, Instagram, for example? Do you scroll at the stories feed, or do you start to scroll your news feed, or do you go straight to your reels feed? So there's so many feeds now for you to have a look at. Which one do you choose first? So let me know in the chat. And I just saw, I just lost my chat. There it is. I just saw a little question from Aman that says, how do you compare using templates and reels to making them in CapCut? Yes, CapCut is fantastic. And actually there's another one that I've been using lately too. I'll share that a little bit later on. And so really good, but I never use the audio if I can help it, because I want to use the trending audio, which will answer Kristen's question, hopefully, which is the music choice important? Absolutely, 100% it is. You want to use the trending audio, so make sure that's the one with the up arrow, not the one with the music notes, because that's going to help you a hell of a lot to get found with that other people looking at that trending audio or using that trending audio. So main feed, straight to reels feed, news, reels, hardly look at stories. On Facebook, I look at stories first. Me too, Julia. I'm way more interested in people's stories than I am in the feed, because A, it can help me avoid the ads, which I really, really love. Well, not completely avoid them, but see a whole lot less ads, which I really, really like. Yeah, I never read the ads too. Either, I mean, Kristen. So yeah, for me, stories is a great spot to start. Plus, generally speaking, it'll be the people that I want to follow most will be sitting there. So in that early stage, which I really, really like. Then I go to my news feed, and I don't really go to the reels feed unless I click on a reel and then I go down that feed. But then, because the reason that I don't is because I know I can really get stuck looking at reels, because they can really fascinate me. And then next thing you know, it's an hour has gone by, and that's not ideal if that wasn't my plan. Yes, Mary, reels can be a black hole. It's a little bit of a concern, isn't it? Luckily for me, though, I've trained my algorithm, so it's not showing me so much of the young kids doing put the Mentos into the Coke kind of reels. I'm not seeing so much of that, which I'm really liking. I'm seeing a whole lot more other stuff, which is great. Also, I wasn't really that into the one with the transitions where they jump in and out of this or whatever. So yeah, luckily I'm seeing less and less of that as I'm really training the algorithm what I really do like to see. Wendy, me too. Getting stuck in there. But it's pretty fun, right? If you're seeing the stuff that you really like to see. So Facebook is not dead. It is still the #1 social media network in the world with over 3.8 billion active users. It's pretty extraordinary. They're still adding more users into the platform every single day. You just need to keep testing content to find out what your ideal customers love to see more of. And you can still get a decent organic reach with the right strategy. So you might be like, no, I can't. No, I can't. I post and just no one sees it. So I have to boost it, or I have to start on Facebook ads because no one's seeing my content. That does not have to be the way at all. Remember, there's other things that you can do, like Facebook groups to get some amazing engagement, like doing reels, which will really help you reach more people. And those are not ads. Those are literally just you putting time and effort into creating the content that people are going to interact with. So it's really important to remember, don't leave Facebook. In fact, I wrote a blog a couple of months ago about, so you're thinking of leaving Facebook, here's all the reasons that perhaps it's not quite the right time for that. So if you want to read that, we can put the link to that in the chat. So hang on, let me just quickly respond to that. Okay, let's have a little look at this. More of social media in 2023. Social media is quietly shifting away from the focus being on metrics. So it's not always about the grow all the time. It's really more about how you can engage with people and the community that you're building. So it's moving away from the constant push for more followers, more reach, more engagement, and all public facing vanity metrics. So it's amazing the people that jump on and do a Zoom call with me and say, how can I get more followers? It's like, that's the most important thing in their world, is that they want more followers. And I'm like, why do you want more followers? How many have you got? Who are the people that you've got in there? And why don't you engage with the ones that you've got, rather than just be constantly on the push for more and more and more? Because we all know this in business, is that it's easier. It's much, much, much better that we can focus on keeping those customers that we've got, keep them coming back for more, rather than constantly, it costs you a lot more money to be finding new ones all the time. Yes, of course, to be growing, we need to be finding new ones. I'm not saying we don't want to do that, but we really want to focus on who we've got. So if you're really engaging with the people that you've got there, that's awesome. And then you will organically grow. But if you're just focused constantly on, I need, 500 new followers every single week, then that just really isn't very sustainable. So don't get caught up on getting the lots of followers, build it, but you want to be building relationships instead. So get to know your customers well enough, and they'll become your loyal, paying, and repeat customers. So for 2023, it's time to really take control of your business. And with that said, it is absolutely time to think about P2P marketing. Whether you are B2B, so business to business, or whether you're B2C, business to consumer, it's all P2P. So that is people to people, or person to person, or human to human. People do business because they have a relationship with the people behind the brand. So attract your loyal tribe to you and get that know, like, and trust factor. Rebecca says, I want the people I have as followers to be signing up to the program. It's so much like normal bricks and mortar business. Look after the customers you have. Absolutely 100%. So you need to be putting stuff out there all the time and showing that you're the expert in the industry, that you're the one that knows their pain and you have the solution to their pain, that you are helping them. Well, what you offer is what is going to help them with the issue that they have. So let's talk about that know, like, and trust factor, because it really is the most important part, particularly now when we've got to really work on relationship marketing. So that know, like, and trust bit is the know is the who are you? What do you do? Should I care? That's that top of funnel piece where they're just looking at what you're all about. And really, why should I be following you? Why do I need to know about you? How are you relevant to me in my life? Then we move into the like, which is as we're going down the funnel. That's where they're saying, do I like you and can I relate to you? And then that final piece at the bottom of the funnel, that's where they're saying, are you an expert? Can you help me? And have others had success? So let's look at it as a funnel. This is taking them from visitors to clients or customers. So at the top, I said that was the know, and that's where they're saying, who are you? Now, that could be whether that's YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, of course, it could be Instagram, it could be LinkedIn, it could be anywhere that they're looking at what you're doing. That's where they're just aware of who you are. So your social media activity will help you reach your ideal audience at the top here. Then it's time to bring them down to the like stage. And that's where they're like, why do I care about what you do and who you are? So when your content inspires, educates, or entertains, it will resonate with your audience. Then we move down a bit further down the funnel. That's the trust piece. And that's where we want to be really generous and abundant, interact with our customers and show the human side of our business, because that's where they're saying, are you an expert? And this is the really important bit to remember, that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So we need to be getting more people at this stage here. And so to do that, we want testimonials and reviews and be sharing that, because people believe what other people say about you more than they believe what you say about you. Then we get down to the very bottom of the funnel, which is when they're actually buying with the how can you help me? But remember, it's not about you, it's about your customer. How does your product or service solve a problem? So in a crowded marketplace with lots of other brands and opinions, stand out to your customers and your clients by creating a better buying experience. And remember that you don't want to force people to work with you. You want them to follow and love what you do. So it's better to let people make their own choices on this road down to buying from you. You just need to give them the amazing content that shows how you can help them with what it is that they need. So we absolutely want to be standing out from the crowd so that people recognize us as the leader in our area, and then they will gravitate towards you. It also makes selling your products and your services easier because you've already started ticking boxes for them. So let's look a little bit more about that know, like, and trust factor. So it's the journey that you take your potential client, or that your journey that your potential client makes when they're getting to know you and your professional brand. They have to know who you are, which means they need to know that you exist, what services you offer, and why you're qualified to deliver those services. Then they need to determine whether they like what they're discovering about you, and that you seem like someone that they can connect with, and that you appear to be qualified and capable of meeting their needs. And finally, once they know and like you, then the trust can begin to develop as they decide whether or not you seem to be an honest, dependable person or company that they can really rely on. And it's only when you've overcome the know, like, and trust hurdle that you can then expect to secure them as a client or as a customer and really, really grow that relationship. And at times, the journey from meeting you to signing on the dotted line or buying that product is quite a quick one. Sometimes it's quite a slow one, but whatever it is, you need to nurture them. So take them on the process with you. Get really visible up the top of that funnel with all that you're putting out there on your socials, and then build that know, like, and trust factor, because it doesn't happen just passively. You absolutely need to think of it as a proactive process. It takes time and it takes intention. So incorporate it into everything that you do. Marketing encompasses every activity that you do to increase your sales and, of course, your growth. So whether you're interacting with a prospective client at a one-on-one, or whether you're at a speaking engagement, whether you're doing a live about your latest product, whatever it is through your promotional materials, whether it's online or whether it's offline, that know, like, and trust factor should absolutely be incorporated into every single thing you do. So we have a little ebook here that you are welcome to grab. All you got to do is hold up your phone, grab your camera app and just scan it, or we can give you just the link if you want to use it on your desktop, and it's called 5 Steps to Get That Know, Like, and Trust Factor. My bow at the back of my dress just got undone, so I was just quickly doing a quick little tie-up. Okay, content is king, but engagement is queen, and she rules the house. That's what the glorious Murray Smith said at the very first social media marketing world that I went to. So that was really, really interesting to me. And I've really focused on engagement ever since. And I think that's an important one for everyone to think about, because we don't want to just do posts and put it out there and get nothing unless people see it. Apart from anything, it feels a little bit depressing in a way that, so much effort has gone into what you're doing, and no one is actually liking what you're putting out there. So that's been a really great focus. However, Murray Smith has just changed her quote. So I'd like you to tell me in the chat, what do you think she has changed the word engagement for. So imagine putting a line through that. So it's content is king, but what is queen? And she rules the house. Has anybody got an idea what that word could be? Let me know in the chat. Ooh. We've got audience, relationship, video. How important is video? Yes, Julia, but not this particular one. Relating, connection, community. They're all very, very good. Very good. So it's actually, community from Kristen. Community, yes, followers. So let's take a little look, because there's 3 of you are the winners, because that is content is king, but community is queen, and she rules the house. So you need to get comfortable with driving people to your community. How are you going to do that? Yes, engagement is super, super, super important, but we need to engage to build relationships, to convert those people you're engaging with to then become part of your community. So let's have a little think about a few of these things. So here's a little top tip. So what to post more of in 2023. Julia mentioned video. Hello. Videos have the advantage of capturing viewers' attention for a more extended time. I want you to think about Pinterest, for example. As you're looking at the Pinterest feed, the ones that will capture your attention, the ones that stand out to you straight away, will always be the ones with some animation on them, some video going on. So it's a really good option to get the target interest of the audience. So when that's compared to wordy text, it's really, really pretty simple. You don't even need to create videos. You just need to animate some of the stuff that you're doing, which then becomes a video, which is pretty extraordinary. So what we want to do is be giving a lot of information that will, as I said before, edutaining. We want to really be giving value to people. But you can do that super easily in video. You can share a whole bunch of information very, very quickly. So using video, you need to make sure that your brand is visible. It needs to have branding on it. And it needs to be, obviously, using a logo as a watermark is a great way to do that. But it will really help you reach more people. This one here is, why did I just zip? Hang on, I just went to the next page. Hang on a moment. So you need to think about what can you actually do. So this one here was a little video because it was World Nutella Day. And so we just found a little video. This one here, we were using Wave, which I really, really love. I use Wave for most of the videos that I make or in video. But we just found one of the stock videos sitting there in Wave. And here we go, put some words over the top of it and a silly little sticker, and boom. This is, I want you to note though, this is not something I would create right now, because this is a square, and I would no longer create any square posts or any square videos unless I was posting in my groups, because squares are very, very 2021. We want to make sure that we changed with the times. In 2022, they gave us the option for the new size. If you're not doing the size by now, this is your next challenge, is change now, change ASAP, because squares are done. So they give us the new portrait size, which takes up way more of the screen on a phone, which is fantastic. So make sure squares out, new portrait size in. So let's take a little look here at, I'll just press pause on them before they start. Oh no, these ones aren't going to play anyway. That's phew. Okay, so let's take a little look here. Statistics show that Reels can get up to 300% more engagement than regular videos. So Reels accelerate engagement and build trust with customers. They create storytelling opportunities. They demonstrate brand character, improve brand awareness, reach new audience, and unlock the opportunity to diversify content. So take a little look at some of these reels here. So the one on the left, Let's Party, and then that's a reel called Must Have Dog Products 2023. Let me tell you why this is a really cool reel. Firstly, here is the thumbnail showing you what that looks like, particularly good for Instagram, not so good for Facebook right now because they don't give you the opportunity to put up a thumbnail, but Instagram does, so use it for sure. So here we go, Must Have Dog Products for 2023. The reel goes boom, 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 boom through the products. The thumbnail cover shows you all those products in one go. And then the caption says, link in bio if you want to grab our ebook, e-guide or downloadable or whatever, with all the information in there and links to the things, and of course get a discount on buying your products, etc. They've also got this one as a blog, so sometimes this one could then link through to the blog. So it's a really great way to use this opportunity to get more and more things happening, taking them on that customer journey. The one in the middle is Marie's in the workshop today, and this is her company, so You Can Too Dance Studio. And so here's a reel with people dancing at their wedding. So this is the thumbnail, but inside that video, there's all different people getting married, different ages, different sizes, different nationalities, different everything. It's showing you that anybody that gets married would no doubt want to come and learn how to dance, to wow the crowd at their own wedding with a fabulous dance that's choreographed for them. So this is the thumbnail, boom, like right there. And then inside, we can get to see the reels showing some beautiful inspirational things of what you might like to look like in your wedding. And boom, there we go. It's had a good amount of views. The one to the right is a little bit curious. So I made this reel when I was in Wellington last year, and I just filmed this dude at a market stall making a food called I think it's called a chimney. Anyway, put it out there, and 75,000 views later. And I actually put the guy, his business, as the collaborator, and he never even accepted the collaboration invitation. And I kept sending him private messages going, hey, this is up to 10,000. You really want to accept my collaboration thing? Hey, this is now up to 50,000. And he just never replied. I'm like, dude, this is a huge, huge opportunity for you that you just lost. Anyway, that was a pretty extraordinary result on that one. And really, it's, you just don't know why some are just going to go off and be unicorns or some are not, but it's so often got to do with the audio that you're using. So definitely make sure that you're only doing reels with trending audios. So Wendy says, Instagram versus Facebook reels, should we post separately? I have to on Hello Media because my accounts can't connect since I lost my personal Facebook 18 months ago now. I've never been able to get them connected again. So weirdly enough, though, my new personal Facebook, when I do a reel on that, I then have the opportunity to post to my business on Instagram. It's really odd. So I reckon, no, you don't need to post separately. I've been testing it, Wendy, like endlessly, testing on my personal, testing on my business, testing on all different places. And no, I'm not seeing that as too much of a problem at all. However, though, you would definitely want to make sure that you're not using more than 5 hashtags when you're posting. When it's a reel, I should say, not when it's a regular Instagram post, you definitely want to use the 30. But for a reel, you just want to be using the 5. One thing I'd say, though, is that if you're doing an auto post, is that you don't want to do the hashtags that are really good for Instagram and not so good for Facebook. So they all have their better hashtags going on. So maybe what you would want to do is post it on Instagram and auto to Facebook, and then go in and edit the caption on Facebook, perhaps. So, but yeah, test it out. Why only 5 hashtags for reels? If you use 30, is that bad? No, it's not bad. But at the moment, it's just what they're saying is use the 5. But only for reels, not for the other. So if you're not following Adam Mosseri, that's probably a good time to do that. So he is the CEO of Instagram, and he does some really great lives about every couple of weeks, and he'll say little things like that in amongst it. So he'll go, hey, 5 hashtags are a really good thing. Adam Mosseri. So Kristen, one of my team can put his details in the chat for you. He's definitely worth following for sure. His lives are actually pretty good. So what to post more of? Video live. So who likes doing lives? Does anyone in this workshop today like doing lives? Straight up off the bat, not me. I can see Julia raising her hand. She does. I hate doing lives, but from time to time I'm like, okay, Kylie, get your act together. And so I'll do like a little pre-recorded video. And because for me, I wear hearing aids. I'm really all about accessibility and all of that. And so for me, when people don't have their captions turned on for their lives, that frustrates me so much. So I will just swipe right past. So What I do instead is that I pre-record it and I use something called Teleprompter as an app, which then puts the captions up. So, and what I love about it is that because I've written what I want to say, then it actually turns the captions out of that, or not the captions. What are they? The subtitles or whatever you want to say. That's what they are, is actually what I've written, not what the AI is thinking that I'm saying. So I really, really like it from that perspective. So if you are doing lives, remember to have your captions turned on. Firstly, because it's 68% or something like that, I can't remember off the top of my head, of people that have their sound turned off permanently. So that's the number one, is that they'll swipe straight past you because they can't see what you say or not hear what you're saying. But also our subtitles, thank you, Wendy. We need to definitely always make sure you've got them on. This year, it's more important than ever before to think about accessible marketing. I just wrote a blog post about it. You are absolutely going to be, what's the word? Boosted, for want of a better word, with your SEO, because Google are going to be prioritizing websites that are all about accessibility, and so is Meta. So Facebook and Instagram. YouTube have always been pretty good on or getting better and better at the accessibility, but Facebook and Instagram are definitely going down that bandwagon now. So one of those things that you should be doing for your hashtags is camel case, not just a regular case. So what that means is making sure that you've got a capital letter at the beginning of each word, so that when people are using screen readers, that it's much easier to read out what the word is, for example. So yeah, we're thinking about accessibility, and we're thinking about inclusive marketing as well. So if you want to know a bit more about that, you can read the blog post that I wrote about that. But we all need to be focusing on that this year, because we will be getting much bigger audiences and much better reach if we are making our content more accessible to more people. So doing lives, for those of you that really enjoy them, do more of them, because, you know, people love seeing people in real time. If you don't like doing them like me, and if you know that you really should, try the teleprompter app, because then I can do it and I can post it within a matter of minutes. But I've made sure that I'm happy with the subtitles and all of that, and I just feel better about what I'm putting out there. So, but definitely remember, if you can do the lives, you're gonna definitely have increased engagement and reach a wider audience. So yeah, if you're brave for it, then do it for sure. Another thing is that people remember 80% of what they see, 20% of what they read, and 10% of what they hear. So keep in mind that you want to be doing image posts and carousels. So it's pretty phenomenal, isn't it, that your audience are 4 times more likely to remember your posts with images or infographics. So by using photos on social media, you'll get more engagement, and this can increase your revenue as people are more likely to like, comment, and share your posts. Newer research now shows that Facebook posts with images get 2.3 times more engagement than those without images. So keep that one in mind. And carousels, if you're not sure what they are a bunch of images that you swipe through. So you've got one main one there, but then it's very obvious that there's more to swipe through. So that's a really important one too. The next one is groups. So posting on your Facebook group is effective because people want to be there. So this one here that we did was a little poll. If I ran a workshop tailored 100% to your needs, what topic would I be? Boom, email marketing, boom, Canva, building a website, SEO, or something else, add yours. And 2 people added more ideas in there. So how good is that as a way to find out more of what people want? It's just literally doing polls. So it's a really, really good thing. So also think about this. Is someone going to opt into a group for a company or a business that they don't really like? No, never, never. So if they're opting into your group, it's because they actually want to hear from you. They actually know that you've got good stuff to offer them. So make sure that you are in that group. And there's some really, really big groups that you can be in, like, for example, like-minded bitches drinking wine. I generally tend not to post in there, but I certainly look at what people are asking and stuff. And I would get in the comments and recommend someone or whatever, if it was that kind of a comment. So, or that kind of a question. So yeah, there's some really big groups to be in there that you get very lost very quickly, but also make sure you're in the small, more tailored groups to exactly what it is that you want to be finding out about. So remember too that the organic reach of your Facebook page is only around the 3 to 5%, but your Facebook groups reach will be way, way higher. And Facebook prioritizes posts from groups in a user's newsfeed, so you have a higher chance of showing up, especially compared to your page posts. Poll on Instagram the other day. We can make you a little video on how to do that, Wendy, and we'll put it in the Facebook group, the Hello Media Facebook group. So Kristen says, how do you reactivate the group? So do you mean, Kristen, that you have a group, but it's been sitting there dormant and people aren't engaging? Is that kind of what you mean? So I'm going to tell you, but use it sparingly, really, because there's so much black going on about this feature at the moment, and people are leaving groups left, right, and center. So be careful and be respectful how you use it. But there is a way to literally put the post to every single person in your group, and they will be notified by using the @everyone. I'm just going to type it into the chat. So here it is, @everyone on the post. But you can also do it in the caption, in the comments. But you got to be really, really careful. Yes, Christian. So it drives me nuts too. So I don't use it very often in any of my groups, but I do use it once a month in the Hello Media Facebook group, because I do a roundup of every single thing that's new in digital marketing. And that's from even the platforms that I don't use. So there's some amazing newsletters that I get, stuff that I just then can put together. There's a guy that does a whole bunch of stuff for me as well. We put it together. And then I feel like that's important because there's something in there for literally everyone. And that's the only time that I would use that. So keep that in mind. The people that do it every day, literally, I'm out of there. I do see other people in their business groups going, well, it's my group, and if you don't like it, you can leave. I'm like, whoa, I don't think that's a very polite way to approach it. Because really, at the end of the day, you want people in there that are actually enjoying what you're putting out there. So yeah, I just think you got to be really wary of how you use the @everyone. But what I would do, Kristen, to reactivate your group is actually say, give them some amazing posts that's got a lot of value in it, and say, I've been a little quiet in here lately, but here I am, I'm back. And what would you like to see more of? Maybe even it's a poll that you would do as your big post back, and using the @everyone. Yeah, I think there's lots of ways that you could get people, or you might want to go live inside your group and without the @everyone, because that will certainly always get more people. Another thing to be posting more of is, oh my word, this is a really, really big one. And I have been researching this one since it came to Australia a few months ago. And this is all about your professional page. So how many of you have, just a yes or a no, have switched your personal page to a professional page? Because that needs to be, I think that's challenge number 4 of the day. So if you haven't done it yet, you absolutely have to do it now. So your personal page can be switched over to a professional page, and then you can be doing less on your business page. I'm not going to say ignore it, but definitely you can be doing less on your business page, because you can use your professional page in a completely different way than you could ever use it before. It is extraordinary. You can look at insights going on in there, which you never could do before. You can, you no longer will have people asking to be your friend. If you don't want to, you can just have them following you. So it is absolutely amazing. The difference between your business and your professional page is that your professional page is your own personal page, but turned into a professional version. Rebecca says, I want to be private on your personal page. That's fine. You can be, because you can choose when you post who it goes to. If it is just to a certain number of people, and you then lock that one down, and then if that post is going to out to everyone in the world and have it as public, then that's great. You have your settings changed depending on what you are posting. But my question to you, Rebecca, is that if you want to be growing your business and you want to be growing it kind of fast, then you need to be getting visible. And we can get so much more visible with our own personal pages, particularly once they're optimized to professional profile, than you can on a business page, because a business page is a hard slog, because at the end of the day, those social platforms want your money and ads. So a really good way to be getting really visible is that personal page as a professional profile. It is amazing. And Reels, so my Reels on Instagram business page, I've been testing them on both my personal profile, our professional profile, and my business Instagram. And this is an example here, right? So the same exact Reel got 211 views on my business Instagram and 7.1 thousand views on my professional profile. You can, it doesn't even show you what it looks like, because on Facebook, we cannot do a thumbnail cover. And this one's the thumbnail cover on this. But look at that. I mean, that is the difference between those views is outrageous. And had I done this one 6 months ago on Instagram, I would have got way more views, because Reels were massive and everyone was getting huge views initially from a business page, but they're getting less and less and less and harder and harder and harder. So Rebecca, if you think about it, if you could post the same Reel and get that on your business and that on your personal, then what would you go for? For me personally, it's a no-brainer. I would want to be doing it that, but I would still do this one as well. So definitely you want to be switching to a professional mode if you haven't yet for your Facebook. So what else? There's a whole section called professional tools once you've switched over. There are enhanced safety features, which might be good for Rebecca to know about. And there's monetization products if you're eligible. So those are stars, and people can it's literally called throwing some stars, and people can give you stars as you're doing a live, et cetera, et cetera. So giving value, and then people go, here's 50 stars. And then boom, it's only cost them, like 50 cents. It's like a cent a star, but it's a lovely way to start monetizing on your account. So that it really helps you build your professional presence. So the reason that I got my personal Facebook shut down 18 months ago has never been revealed by Facebook, but I'm sure it was because that a couple of my VAs were logging in as me. And we all know that you're not allowed to have more than one profile. You're not allowed to have other people logging in, et cetera, et cetera. Now, as soon as you've switched to your professional profile, they will tell you can now have more accounts. You can now start more personal Facebooks. So I can have Kylie Mowbray Allen for business, Kylie Mowbray Allen for family, Kylie Mowbray Allen for friends. How crazy is that? So they literally have just about turned for what they were allowing us to do for the last 15 years, 16 years to now what they're saying we can do. It's pretty extraordinary. Plus, they were really limiting you on how many that you could share on your, how many business posts you could share on your personal profile, because you had to use it as a person, not as a business. So now the world is your oyster for how much you can put out there about business. Kristen says, where's Twitter at? I just realized that I have 1,000 followers there. Again, not active, but I've started to post there. I really can't talk much about Twitter, Kristen, because it's my least favorite platform. That's not true, because I absolutely won't use TikTok for privacy reasons, but and all their security issues. But Twitter for me, just on a personal thing, is just not my thing. But I've got colleagues and friends that it's their favorite platform and finding it to be absolutely fabulous. So I can share, in fact, we can do a poll in the Hello Media Facebook group and say, who's using Twitter? Who's having a great time with it? Leave your handle below so that we can go and follow you. So that'd be a good way, Kristen, to see how some of them are doing it and doing it really well. So I just want to do a little reminder at this point about our giveaway. We have one, which was if you want to win a one-on-one with me, can be on any topic. You just need to say yes, please in the chat, put a little emoji in there. This is our second giveaway. And sorry, Christopher, but it's only for the women led businesses. So we have Positive Passionate Businesswoman has 3 levels of membership. And right now, we have Grow, which is level 1 membership, where we're giving all women-led businesses free for 12 months. So that means that you can set up your membership on our directory and get listed there. And what's so good about that is that it then links to your own website. So we've been running these little things called brunch dates. You can come in, you can build it with us together. We can show you how to put your trust badge in your footer and all that kind of stuff. It is the SEO gold because it's backlinks from that website to you and from you back to that website. So really, really magic. So anyone is entitled to one of those of the grow level. However, we are also doing today a little prize that you can be upgraded to the Bloom level, which means that you can join with our online networking, meetups, and all kinds of extra awesome things that go on at Bloom level. So if you want to be in on that, then say Bloom in the chat, and then we'll do the prize wheel for that as well. If you are already at Bloom level, then and you win, then we will upgrade you to the Flourish level, which is when you get to be on the podcast. It's when you get to be having blog posts on the website. It's all kinds of extra amazing things. So if you win and you're already at Bloom level, then we will upgrade you to Flourish. So that's what's in it for you. So that's our second little prize of the day. But let's move on to our next topic, because we've got 5 steps to social media success. And we've got some important things to look at in this section. And then we're going to look at trends. And there's one incredibly important bit in there that I need to be talking to you about, because it is a huge buzz at the moment. So firstly, let's look at the 5 steps to social media success. Get social marketing goals that make sense. Research your target audience, create engaging content, and plan and schedule your content. And then, of course, review your data. So there's more competition, more content, and more social networks than ever. So a succinct strategy gives you the focus and the confidence that you need to say no to all the things out there that don't serve your business goals. So your step-by-step social media strategy guide helps you identify your social goals, engage your audiences, and optimize your results. So you really need to set the goals that make sense for you. You need to make sure that you can't say, I want to do 10 platforms and I'm going to post twice a day and I'm going to do lives on all of those platforms. No, like I said at the beginning, what's one platform that you might want to try out? And a lot of you had said YouTube, for example, this time, but also what's one platform that isn't doing it for you? Maybe it's time to step back and take a break from that. But if you were going to do one thing, that would definitely be start a Facebook group for sure. Researching your target audience absolutely lets you know who it is that you're hanging out with. So it's really important. We're going to look at that in a bit more in a moment. So let's get stuck into that. Firstly, though, set the social media marketing goals that make sense for your business. Now, I have a rule. And I've never been a very good rule follower my whole life. But this one is the 80-20 rule, and I really do try and stick with this one. So the 80-20 rule is that 80% of the time you are edutaining people. Remember I said before, that's the educating and entertaining. The 20% of the time is when you're selling. Now, a lot of people do it the other way around and they just go sell, sell, sell. But why would I continue to follow you if I'd already bought from you or I'd already tried your service once? I don't need to be sold to at that top of funnel stage over and over and over. What I do need is for you to be giving me value. And that happens in that 80% part where you're educating me and entertaining me. So I often use this example of a rug shop. So imagine that I have bought a rug. I have no more need for a rug. So how am I going to continue to follow your page? Why would I if I've already bought that rug? I don't want to be told all the time you need to buy a new rug, because it's not something I need to buy all the time. So instead, you would be giving me awesome value. You'd be telling me posts like how to spot clean red wine spills. You'd be telling me how to get dog hair off the rug when it sticks in like needles. You'd be telling me how to wash the rug. You'd be telling me all kinds of cool things. You'd be telling me how to put it outside and give it some fresh air. You could be telling me what to put under the rug to stop it slipping. There's so many things that you could say. We could even have people doing guest posts about, how to style your rug differently if you change up your cushions or whatever it is. But give me value. Don't keep selling at me. But I do want to keep following you, even though I've already bought the rug, because, I need to have you top of mind when a friend says to me, hey, I'm in the market for a new rug, and you'll go, oh my goodness, I follow these guys on social media. They're great. And they will tag that friend in that post, and boom, then all of a sudden you've got a new follower and potentially a new sale. So that is just a tiny little example with the rug shop of why you need to make sure you are not selling 100% of the time, that you are absolutely edutaining and giving value so that people keep that reason to keep following you. Also, make sure that you're sharing your brand personality. You're generating leads and sales, whether that's online or in-store or through Facebook or Instagram shopping, whatever it is. People don't shop by accident usually. So you need to make it really easy for your followers to know what you offer, and then share those exclusive offers or awesome features, advantages, benefits, etc., and how your product will help people. Also, grow your audience. So do you want to grow your email database? Are you going to do that? So one great way to do that, and here, is by saying on your socials, I've got one client who does this brilliantly. So let's say, for example, on a Wednesday, she'll have a newsletter that goes out and says, this offer is for my VIP subscribers, and we have a limited number of these. And you guys, as of right now, use this discount code, and it's there till it sells out. If it hasn't sold out by Friday, we're going to put it out on our socials for our audience out there. Almost 99% of the time, she has completely sold out of what her thing was that she was doing just from that email database. It is absolutely extraordinary. So make sure that you are remembering that email database, the power of the database, and keep in mind that for a whole week leading up to sending out that email, you can be saying to people, we are sending out an exclusive offer to our VIP subscribers only. So this is the link for you to sign up, and get them signing up, of course. And then off it goes. That email goes out there. Of course, your lead magnets are also going to give you emails, sign-ups, etc. Make sure you've got some kind of pop-up or something on your website. Whatever it is, you need to be constantly growing that email database. So it's really, really important. Okay, so next, let's look at researching your target audience. So knowing who your audience is and what they want to see on social media is absolutely key. And every business needs to create customer avatars. So some people call them buyer personas. I just really like to call them customer avatars. So that really helps you understand who you're selling to. And we used to look at demographics when it came to customer avatars, but last year we switched it all around, and now we look at psychographics instead of demographics. So psychographics is the study of consumers based on their activities, their interests, and their opinions. And it goes beyond classifying people based on general demographic data. That's like age, gender, race, etc. So psychographics seek to understand the cognitive factors that drive consumer behaviors. So the things that we want to remember to include when we're really researching our customer avatars are interest, personality, values, opinions, beliefs, attitudes, etc. Because knowing that is really going to help in the way that you sell to them. So we're going to be doing a whole workshop all around building out your customer avatars, which is really, really fun. And it helps you know who it is you're talking to and how you're going to help them. So if you're keen on that, let us know. That'll be coming up soon. The next one is number 3, creating and curating engaging content. That's it. Literally, that was the whole reel. I'm going to play it again. That was last Christmas, during the break, the one before the last, that my daughter and someone else helped her with the sanding bit though, but transformed my office, painted it, So it was literally just a few photos. We used that with some trending audio, and then boom, it's just performed and performed and performed very, very well. So the content is the most important bit. So your social media strategy, marketing strategy is centered around content. So once you've worked out your goals and you're really clear on your brand identity and your message, then creating the engaging content will be an absolute cinch. So there are loads of ways to create that engaging social content. And we're actually going to be doing an entire workshop just on creating content. So if you're up for that, yes, let me know. There's so many coming up because, of course, there's 12 this year of our Flourish workshops. So it's going to be Flourish with your amazing content. So something to note is that people are more likely to like something which has been liked before. So that's why customer testimonials, good reviews, and influencer recommendations really work. So the psychology behind it is that I don't trust you unless someone has trusted you before me. People buy from people, and people believe what others say about you more than what you say about you. So we definitely want to be staying current with stories, with time-sensitive posts. Stories aren't going anywhere, so keep that in mind. Tapping into your followers' FOMO, so fear of missing out, is what stories is all about, because they're gone in 24 hours. So story style content is both interactive and can't miss. So when you pop up first in your followers feed, by default, with your stories, this is phenomenal and a really good opportunity. So make sure that you are doing stories now. I know a lot of you said you go to the news feed first, but there are heaps of us that go to the stories feed first. So make sure you have got stories coming up all the time. Stories are also really good for being a bit more rough and ready and not so curated. So they're really good for taking your followers behind the scenes and making your social media feel a little bit more personal. So you want to be showing off your human side. Both personal and personable content needs to be a big part of your social media strategy. So don't be afraid to remind followers of the humans that are behind your post. Like, for example, Wendy's is not a lover of stories, but imagine if in your stories you just some stories about, and actually your posts as well, but why are you a nature lover, Wendy? What are your business vision walks? What's it all about? So rather than just what you do in that business, how about the behind the scenes of how you got to be who you are and do what you do? And that's a good way to talk about, your qualifications and all that kind of stuff and what has made you the expert in your area. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to be done with behind the scenes. So let's take a little look now at number 4, plan and schedule your content. So it's great to have some fresh content going out. Boom. Yes, up here we go. But it's also overwhelming if that's what you rely on. So you need to make sure that you start slow. Ask yourself a serious question. Why are you going to invest serious time, energy, and resources into social media? Because it is harder than ever to grow a following. It's harder to get your brand and content seen in a social media world focused more on paid promotion than rewarding you for your efforts, which is very frustrating. So, of course, we need to think about paying for reach sometimes. Sometimes we might need to be doing some ads. On Facebook, we can only expect anywhere between 2.5% to 5% of our followers to actually be seeing our post. On Instagram and LinkedIn, it jumps to almost 20%, so it's a little bit higher. And then if you're doing reels, even higher than that. So we've got to be putting the content out there, but it's a lot to be doing on the fly every single day. So planning it and scheduling it just makes perfect sense. And using Business Suite is a very good idea. There's so many other options out there like Agora Pulse, Poster Plan, Plannerly, Later, Hootsuite, Buffer. There's gazillions of them. But what happens is if you do get a tiny bit penalized for using an external platform for posting or for scheduling. So try and use the platform that Facebook or Meta built themselves, which is Business Suite. There's also Creator Studio, but it's on its way out. So try and use Business Suite because it's there. They have created it and they want you in the platform. They don't want you off the platform. So if you can, go for Business Suite. It's a great way of getting your content out there and seen by more people, but also batching content just really makes sense. And we're doing a whole lot of that in our group coaching also over the next 2 months, where we actually create content together and get it done. So then decide your platforms. And again, whoops, we don't have the Twitter one in here. And of course, there are others as well. But what I need you guys to consider is how much time can you devote to a social network each week? So ideally, you want to be planning for around 30 minutes per day per network. And then, of course, more than that in your growth stages. The other bit is your audience. So what does your target demographic look like? What social media platforms do they hang out on? So if you're saying that you really love LinkedIn and you really want to be there and you really enjoy being there, but you're B2C and your customers aren't even there, then probably that's really not your time, effort, money, energy, etc. well spent. Same with if your audience is on Pinterest and you're not, really you need to think about, actually, probably I should be there. So have a think about where they are, what are you actually doing, and where are you going to head? So Christopher said a video editing software at recommendations. Yes, totally. CapCut. Yes to Filmora. I use Wave a lot and InVideo, which is just fantastic. There's lots of different things, but also just within the Instagram app, you can literally use templates, and they're getting better and better all the time. So it's definitely worth looking at. Number 5 is review your data. So take a little look at this. We do these reports for our social media management clients where we do it every 3 months and show their growth, et cetera, et cetera. But look at the difference in this reach. So 6 months ago, 117,000 and now 275,000. But look at their followers. See, so followers doesn't matter nearly so much as the type of content that they're putting out to get that reach. And it will be generally reels that are helping you get that really extraordinary growth in your reach. So, this one here, though, was not a reel. This is from a few years ago. I just did this last minute little Easter video in Wave, and that was crazy. 57 likes, 14 comments, and 149 shares. I was like, it was not, honestly, it wasn't even a good video at all, but it just went kind of viral, which is pretty silly. So you want to really be looking at your data, see what's going on, because that way, A, you can celebrate, or B, you can go, oh, why'd that one really bomb? What can I do with that? Can I just change the caption and repost it? Should I change the graphic? Should I turn it into a video? What should I do? Why did that content not land with who it needed to? So it's a really good chance to see what's going on when you review data. So you want to look at reach, you want to look at clicks, you want to look at engagement, and you definitely want to look at your hashtag performance. You want to aim to get in that first 9 to 12 in that hashtag spot, because that's where the magic happens too. Also, you want to look at organic and paid likes. So you definitely want to think about your strategy really being based a lot on numbers. That really helps you know what it is that you need to do going forward. So hashtag performance, we're going to do a whole thing on that, Monica, and I'm going to put it in the Hello Media Facebook group today. Honey, if you just make a little note about that, and then we'll put that in there and you can check that out, because it's super simple, but I just need to show you with sharing of my screen, which I will do for sure. So our final bit that we're going to look at is 5 social media trends in 2023. First one is, and I'm going to zip through most of these because one, I want to spend the most of the time on. So the number 1 is anti-niche. So now the preeminent strategy evolves around the human experience. Remember I said about people-to-people marketing or human-to-human marketing. You need to make your brain your content. So 2020 and 2021, everyone preached that you need to niche down if you want to be successful, that was the only way to make it on social media, is to have one thing and do it really, really well. But 2022 and now well and truly into 2023, it's going to be even more so. That is changing. So that really niching down was very much about it being a little bit, might I say boring in a lot of instances, really. So what we want to do now is change the way we're doing it. And what's contributing to this new trend is blimmin' old TikTok. So back then on social media, you'd need to follow a specific creator or brand, and then you just get fed with all of their constant content on your feed of the same stuff. But with TikTok's change, which of course then changed Facebook and Instagram too with Reels, the TikTok has got this one called For You page algorithm. So you're served with different content from creators that you don't even follow, which of course is then what Facebook and Instagram too. So you're now being exposed to different topics and interests and creators that you never even knew you might have been interested in the first place until you're exposed to it by the algorithm. So if you go to the Reels tab on Instagram, you'll see a whole lot of different stuff from different creators that you never even knew were there. And it's not big creators either. Some are big and some are just regular people, small businesses putting their stuff out there. And then the algorithm is watching how much time you're spending looking at those, and then it will show you more and more of that. So that is pretty extraordinary. So you've got to keep in mind the anti-niche trend and really remember that people are craving individuality. So remember to humanize your content and make it more authentic and more natural. So this one here is an interesting one too. So this is anti-Hormozy editing style. So this one here is Alex Hormozy, and see how he does it like this? And now then people just copy. It first got popular on YouTube due to his engaging content and short form video editing style. So a lot of people copied it. You can check out the videos, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll see so many people are doing the same. But then with that, anything that becomes popular, it then really becomes mainstream. And then after some time, mainstream becomes basic, and then the market becomes saturated. And then people are turned off the poor dude that did it in the first place. So keep that one in mind. If you want to see what that's all about, just go through and have a little look at that. So even though modeling what works is a great strategy, we also want to encourage ourselves to be leaders and not necessarily followers. Keep that one in mind. So if you want to win big this year and beyond, try to embed an individualistic video editing style, whereas someone's watching a video of someone's watching someone else's video and they're noticing that you're using your editing style, then you're going to be able to associate that back to your brand. So use this year to stand out, while everyone else, for example, is copying the Hormozys. Let's now take a look at number 3, though. Number 3 is podcasting.
1,000 podcasts compared to 38 million YouTube channels, meaning that the potential of growth of podcasts is huge and there is very little competition, so that there is a high chance of you winning. But beyond that, thanks to the rise of short form video, this style of video is actually performing really well, where there are clips of podcasts where it showcases a very human interaction, unscripted, unfiltered. A lot of this style is doing really well on TikTok and on Instagram.
I'm going to send you the link so you can watch that. It's really, really interesting. So keep this in mind. Podcasting is an amazing way to reach a phenomenal number of people. And also keep in mind that podcasts don't just go away. People can watch a pod. I've got this couple that I used to follow, will still follow. They're gone. They haven't podcasted for at least 3 years now, but they still go back and listen to their stuff over and over because it is absolutely gold. So keep that in mind. Podcasting is worth trying out. If you use Anchor, it's incredibly easy to get your stuff put out there and out to all the different platforms. Amazing. So definitely give that one a try. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, we do this live video podcast every Friday, which means it goes to all the platforms, to YouTube, to all the places, up on the podcast. Then it becomes a blog, and then it becomes all these social posts as well. So yeah, repurposing your podcast into short form videos is a really great way to go too. But we will be talking a lot more about that later on. So now is the best time to do a podcast than ever before. The clips are re-uploaded for months and months. It gets so many views outside of the actual podcast. But this one here is the one that I really want you guys to take notice of in this section of the trends right now. And that is ChatGPT. So, Kristen, so there's a grow offer for everyone. You can all have that as a free listing. But then there is a spin the wheel if you just say Bloom in the chat to go into win the Bloom subscription for your website. So all you're going to do is type Bloom in there. Okay, so most of you will have heard of ChatGPT because it has been going crazy the last few weeks. Let me know in the chat if you have heard of ChatGPT. So it is a large language model chatbot developed by OpenAI, which actually happens to be Elon Musk. It stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and it has a remarkable ability to interact in conversational dialogue form and provide responses. So I'll give you a little example of this. So Rebecca says no, but I've been off everything. Rebecca's actually been around for years. However, what's changed in the last little while is that ChatGPT arrived on the scene, and they absolutely have blown everything out of the water. You might have heard of Jasper. They've been putting out lots of ads lately about, write a blog and, tiny nanosecond and blah, blah, blah. Don't write a blog in a tiny nanosecond using bots. And I'll show you why. So actually this Friday in our Business Bite Size podcast, where the topic is the good, the bad, and the ugly of ChatGPT. So I'm just going to give you a little example. So we wrote in here 10 ideas for social media captions for floral design. Boom, Literally within 30 seconds, we had them. Or taglines for floral designers business. Boom, that's what it came up with. So anyway, the client was looking at this going, oh, actually, they're not that bad. Like I would need to change them. I would need to reword them. Some of it's not quite right. And I'm like, perfect. Because the most important thing that you need to remember with this chat is that, excuse me, yes, it's there. Yes, it can write content, but you cannot just put the content out there. You must personalize it because you need to turn it into a human has written it. And there's many reasons other than just the way that we read it. So let me show you. So this is what ChatGPT looks like. It is free. I got the paid version just so I could really explore its possibilities, but it is absolutely extraordinary. So jump on it. But here are the pros. It can respond to a variety of questions with smart and properly cited text. It can save you time. It answers questions in a detailed way, and it answers questions in real time, and it's easy to use. But the answers may not be natural or reality-based. Other chatbots and ChatGPT sometimes give answers that sound plausible, but are in fact incorrect and make no sense. ChatGPT often overuses certain words and can be unnecessarily wordy in some cases. And the answers are available to more than one user. So then if you and I were writing a blog topic about the same topic, we could literally be publishing the exact same thing if we then didn't turn it into our own content. And it doesn't provide an API, so you can't integrate it on your apps or any other platform. And in the past few days, or past few week, due to heavy traffic, most of the time ChatGPT is at capacity or down, just like what Janine just said. So a friend of mine just wrote this article and in The Guardian, and she is a uni lecturer, and she says, lecturer detects bot use in 1/5 of assessments as concerns mount over AI and exams. So Sally says technology is not going away, and she said that this latest one, which is ChatGPT, has caused internal alarm for its ability to evade plagiarism detection tools. The software Brandon uses detects a range of bot assistants, including software that helps improve AI-generated text. So keep that in mind. You are going to have all kinds of issues in whichever way you're using it, if you don't then only use it as a tool and you actually just copy and paste it. So be very, very, very careful. So over the holidays, I was doing a lot of research into this, and I was in all kinds of groups, lots of people talking. A couple of them have said some things that were really, really important, and I just wanted to share a few of those. One of those is this one, which says ChatGPT can write songs, poetry, write code, essays, content. The key, though, is to ask the right questions and use your human brain to edit and improve. It is just a tool. So this is probably the most exciting thing that's happened, but use it with caution. Use it as a tool. Use it to generate ideas for you, but then make sure that you then turn it into your own content. So that's really, really, really important. So I'm going to screenshot these 3 here, and this 4, and then put it out there for you guys into the Hello Media Facebook group so that it can be talked about, read thoroughly and talked about. We'll also give you the link to Sally's article. And of course, you can have the link to the ChatGPT so you can get in and try it out because it is really, really, really fascinating. Number 5, and I'm very aware we've just gone over time, so I've only got 5 more minutes, is community and experiences. So community rules the house, connection, hosted online or an in-person event. Give your community an exclusive access to your mind that they can't get somewhere else. Really important to think about that human-to-human experience or that P2P marketing. So dream big, make a strategy, work hard and stand out from the crowd. We're just about to spin our wheels. So let me see who's the winner. So number 1, the prize was a one-on-one session with me to look at anything you want to in your business. So make sure that you had an emoji or a yes, please in the chat for that one. And the number 2 was, if you're a women-owned business, that you type Bloom in there because we're going to upgrade your free Grow membership that anyone can get to a Bloom membership. So yeah, and if you haven't got your Grow membership yet, then we can send you the information for that as well, because this is super exciting. It's a new thing we just launched towards the end of last year so that you can be listed and get some really good SEO going on. We have a little offer for you, and that is, excuse me, that our group coaching, which happens every week, we've changed the structure of it. So now when you sign up to the group coaching, we'll action takers with us. So it's $4.97 a month. We've got it today for $3.97 a month for the whole 6 months, but you also get 3 one-on-one sessions with me during that 6 months, whenever you want to have them. You get 18 sessions of group coaching, and of course you get coaching workbooks, resources, templates, all of that. We meet on a Thursday morning, and there's lots going on in there. We have so many topics that we're covering. So obviously ask your questions and all of that. If you want to know more about that, we have links that you can find out more about it, but also you can just book a Zoom chat with me if you want to, and it's a little discovery call and ask about what that's all about, and jump on that if you want to. So just send a little private message or something if you want to know more about that. But that's really where a whole lot of gold happens. And then our next one up from that, from our bronze coaching, is where we have masterclasses too. And then the one on top of that is where it's one-on-one and the masterclasses and the group coaching. So for example, this week for the group coaching, we have a workshop all doing how to make GIFs and stickers to get them onto Instagram. So when you're putting stickers up, you can use your own ones instead of the ones that are there. And then all the other ones, the masterclasses, take you right through to June. So heaps and heaps of topics going on there. So that's really for you if you're overwhelmed by digital marketing and you're ready to make changes, if you're ready to get stuck into creating a strategy for growth, if you know that it's time to step up, take action, and transform your social media, email marketing, website findability, and performance. But it is not for you if you don't want to grow. It is not for you if you don't want to get visible in all of your digital marketing efforts. And it's not for you if it's not the right time to invest in yourself and you're not ready to take action. Because realistically, with all the stuff that you're learning, you need to then go and actually take some action with it, because otherwise that's just money down the drain, isn't it? So let's look at our summary of what we've looked at today, of how to get the most out of social media in 2023. Number 1, choose the right platform and post consistently. Number 2, get to know your customers and offer value. And I said to you earlier, we were going to be doing a workshop all about how to create those customer avatars and stuff. Number 3, social media isn't just about posting pretty pictures and witty captions. It's also about building relationships with your customers. And whether your business is B2B or B2C, it is all P2P, so person to person. Learn from your competitors, but remember not to copy them. Start podcasting and get onto the short form content bandwagon, which is Reels, or on YouTube, it is, I just had a moment and I forgot the name of it. Shorts. But anyway, jump on that. If you're already posting Reels now, then get them onto YouTube as shorts, which is an incredibly good idea. And remember also to try out that ChatGPT, but be really, really careful how you then use that content. So you guys, I would love for you to share your aha moment from today. What was the moment that you went, whoa, that's amazing or interesting, and I get it? So something maybe that you'll be able to take away and do and use. So tell me, what was your moment from today? You can just jump into the chat if you're able to. I'd really appreciate it. I always love hearing what people have found the most interesting or found the most value or whatever. So also it's time to share more. Show the world your true, authentic self. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. I said we were going to have a Q&A, so I will stay on. I know many of you will need to leave because we've gone over time, but for those of you that want to stay, if you've got some questions, I'll turn off my share and we can have a little chat. But we're just going to run our, Honey's going to send me the screenshot. Ooh, yay. The screenshot of who has won, what they have won, and we will share that. So the first one is the one-on-one with me has been won by Kerry Thompson. Let me just do my little, oh, hang on. I should have said that before, Kerry Thompson. Here we go, let's do a mic drop. Yes, Kerry Thompson, congratulations. And the new upgrade to the Blue membership is won by Wendy Bithell. Oh, and let's give you a confetti too. So congratulations to Kerry. Congratulations to Wendy. I'm thrilled you guys were all able to come. And we'll send you the information so that you can get your free Grow membership as well. So thank you very much for that. Let's see some of our aha moments. And thanks for those that shared. So we've got Petra with turn on captions for go lives. Yes, great. Use the teleprompter app. This puts captions on pre-recorded lives. Yay. Reels on Insta and Facebook. Good on you, Christine. Janine says probably need to look at YouTube Shorts. Yes, super easy. All you got to do is have the app and then just save your reel and then just put it up on YouTube. So literally 10 seconds, Janine. Kristen says check out professional Facebook personal page and get back to your podcast plan. Good. Corin, I love this one. Be consistent. Liz, so helpful. You're very welcome. The new trends was really useful to know about. Yay. And yay, Julia, shout out to a small business was great. And I also love the Facebook group ideas. Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Kerry. And Karen has a question. I schedule Google My Business posts every weekday. Would I be better off only doing one per week? Yep. Just one a week because they last for 7 days. So that's really going to take the pressure off, isn't it? Which is really, really good. You're very, very, very welcome. Thank you so much, everybody. If anybody, I'll stop my share now. If anybody, let's have a little photo, shall we? That would be nice. I love it. If you could turn your cameras on if you want to. Love having a little photo. I always forget about that wee bit. Let's do a little 3, 2, 1. Yes. Does anybody have any questions? And if not, then let's say adieu and good afternoon. But if you do, unmute yourself and sing out, hey, Wendy. Unmute yourself and ask away. And Liz, you just unmuted. Have you got a question?
I do, please, Kylie.
Awesome.
Thank you for this. It's really, really helpful. I've got a personal Facebook page, which is where most of the people I know are, and I've got a business page, which I post work-related things to, and I was double posting. But when you said turn your personal into a professional, should I set up my scheduling tools so that it posts to both? And because I actually don't post personal stuff, I don't enjoy social media. Could I just double post, so to speak, on my business Facebook and no, they won't let me double post.
No, not that. It's that you can't schedule on your personal just yet. But I'm sure that will be coming, but for now you can't. So you can still schedule your post for your business page or for Instagram or whatever, but you still need to do something fresh to your professional page. I've got a little thing here that I wrote. I got asked this question, so I'm just going to put it in the chat, which is literally how to turn it into a professional. Boom, there we go.
Thanks.
So go to your profile, tap in the upper right corner, tap settings, tap account, and switch it over. Then it takes a little while because you've got to set up categories and things like that. But really good idea. One other top tip would be on your Instagram. This is a really important top tip for those of you using Instagram, is switch your category over to entrepreneur. When you switch it to entrepreneur, you are given so many more options for audio, trending audio. It's astounding. And there's, other things coming, and there's not really any reason why that's happening, but it's just what's happening at the moment. So yeah, jump on to being an entrepreneur. And Monica says, can we make a new Facebook profile and turn that into professional mode to keep it separate? I think what you need to do is turn that one into professional mode, and then they will offer you the opportunity to make more. But you might be able to do others. I don't know. The only way I've seen, realistically, it's so weird to me that they have always said you cannot have more than one profile. 100% you cannot. But now as soon as you turn your personal into professional, they literally give you that as an offer. But you don't see the offer other times. So yeah, I'm not sure, Monica, if you should do it that way round, where you go personal. This is maybe a way to do it. Go personal to professional now, then get that offer to make more. And then when you've made the new one, make that one professional and switch the other one back to personal. Does that make sense? Maybe. That'd be worth a try. It's still cool. Thanks, Monica. It's still very, very new. So it's only been a few months. And it's only a few countries that are able to do it so far. And Australia just happens to be one of them, which is good.
Hello, Kylie.
Hi,
How
Kristen.
do you turn the Instagram to professional? Is that easy?
You mean, so no, that's kind of different entirely, because that's just a business account anyway. If you were already business, what you want to do is turn it to be an entrepreneur, rather than, you might have had it be like retail, or like on mine it said consultant or whatever. But now if you can make it an entrepreneur, no matter what type of business you are, you will definitely find some interesting more options anyway. Yeah.
Thank you.
Worth a look. You're welcome. Any other questions from anyone? All right. Well, always know that you can be posting your questions in the Hello Media Facebook group, and either I will get to you or one of my team will get to you and share the answers. And if they don't know, they'll let you know anyway. I mean, they'll tell you we don't know, but we will find the answer for you. And thank you all for being here. It's been great to hang out with you all. First workshop of the year, which is super exciting. So keep tuned for next month. We'll have a whole new topic as well. And of course, if you want to come in and join our group coaching, get stuck into that if this is your year to really make a difference in what you're doing. And it's all about being accountable. I think that's one of the really important bits, is being accountable and having a support team around you to really make things happen. So awesome to be with you guys. Have a fabulous afternoon. Thank you, Janine. I'm sorry that we went overtime. And next month, I will endeavor to be bang on time. So I will look forward to seeing you then, and have a great afternoon. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. And thanks to my team.